this week's chapter of One Piece, the titanic and mammoth Jack the Drought brings destruction to the island of Zou. Before I go further into my review, I just want to thank all of my commenters, subscribers, and people who've been watching my videos for the last couple of years, because we have just reached over 20,000 subscribers. This is an amazing milestone for the channel. I love my Super Kami Guru 9000 channel because it gives me the opportunity to share my love of anime and manga and nerdy things with you guys, and you also get to share your love and experiences of these things with me. This channel has certainly been a labor of love, and this is just the beginning. We have a lot of big projects coming up at the end of the year and going into 2016. We have some big changes which are going to be coming to the channel, but we're all still going to keep all of our old videos as well, so stay tuned, and just thank you guys again for making this possible, and let's go ahead and get on with the review of One Piece. Jack the Drought. What can I say about this character? He's so incredibly awesome looking and also really funny at the same time. We finally get to see his human form in this week's chapter, and he's predictably absolutely massive, and thank God he is not Axe-Hand Morgan. There's no way that guy could have been this powerful. But let's go ahead and just talk about the design of Jack the Drought. I really like him. I think he looks really great. He's very similar to Kaido in many senses, where he's just absolutely massive. The biggest difference is he is covered with, like, tusks all over his body, but he also has this grill which covers his entire mouth, kind of like the cow catcher on the front of a train. That's literally what it looks like to me. And he also has these long Willie Nelson pigtails. I'm not sure why they decided to go with that, but it actually adds a little bit of humor to this character. However, Jack is not a very humorous character. He is very hardcore. He completely destroys the Mink tribe over the course of 5 days and 5 nights. They still cannot bring this guy down. We also get to see some of his normal weapons, which are these massive hooked-looking swords, which kind of look like elephant tusks, like the way that they're all bent and everything. I've never seen a weapon like that in the series, so it's pretty freaking interesting. So like I said, in this flashback we learn that Jack and his team have been fighting against the Mink tribe on the back of this giant elephant for 5 days and for 5 nights, with pretty much all of their forces being defeated except for Jack himself. That's when he decides to use that big poison bomb, which just completely destroys the Mink tribe. He then captures a lot of them, and they all get crucified and tortured. And when I say tortured, I mean they get messed up. Inuarashi, the Dog King himself, has his leg cut off. Nekomamashi, the Cat King, has his frickin' arm cut off, and they show you all of it in all of its bloody and gory glory. I think Luffy said it best himself in this week's chapter. It's hard to imagine that Jack is just one of the underlings of Kaido. If Jack is this destructively powerful, just imagine what Kaido is gonna be like. As if that flashback were not enough, we also get another one where we get to see the other half of the Straw Hat crew. That's Sanji's group, who actually arrived at the island of Zou earlier, and we get to see them encountering some of the other members of the Mink tribe, including that one squirrel girl who's almost being killed by that one dude, the sheep's head guy, who's actually riding on top of that giant alligator warthog creature, and Brook is able to take him out with this really cool technique, which basically translates out to black ice. Honestly, it's just cool to finally see Brook do something badass. It's been a while since we've seen something like that. And I just want to say, Chopper wearing a football helmet is adorable as shit. I was also really sort of hoping that we would see Sanji's reaction to the female members of the Mink tribe. I'm really curious if he's going to be into the whole furry thing. So what's the rundown on this week's chapter of One Piece? Don't you think it's a little messed up that Luffy is just casually sitting on the chest of Inuarashi? You'd think that would really piss him off, especially after losing a leg. This week's chapter is going to probably be defined by seeing Jack for the very first time, and I can understand why. He just looks so incredibly awesome. He has really unique weapons, and he's just devastatingly and annoyingly powerful. Like, absolutely nothing over the course of those 5 days and 5 nights could actually stop him. And the only reason that I think he even used the poison gas is that he was just getting bored, and he was sick of getting the answers from these guys, which is We don't know where the Wano Kingdom warriors are. We have no idea. And it's really disturbing when you see them have that, as they've all been poisoned, where the different soldiers of Jack are going around asking the same question, and if they don't get the answer they want, they either get killed and stabbed, or they get crucified and tortured. It's some pretty heavy material for the One Piece series, although we have to remember that One Piece has gone into some pretty dark territory before, but that final shot of the crucified images of Inarashi and Nekomamashi losing their limbs is honestly one of the more disturbing shots that I've seen from the One Piece series, and maybe they're able to get away with it because they're anthropomorphic animal people, but still, it doesn't diminish it at all. It really just paints Jack in one of the most, like, malicious images that we've ever seen. It's amazing to think that this guy right here is more powerful than some of the other crazy villains that we've seen from the series, and if it wasn't for the Straw Hat Pirates actually defeating Doflamingo, Jack would have probably never left that island, so they got really lucky, although I have a feeling that it's only a matter of time before he returns, or we're going to run into Jack again. The bigger question is, who is going to take on Jack? Because Luffy had a really tough time fighting against Doflamingo. I'm not saying that he went like 100% on him or anything, but he had to unleash some big brand new techniques that he hadn't fully perfected quite yet that had a time limit on them. I'm really interested to see how he's going to combat these guys. What I will say is this week's chapter was really entertaining, very hardcore, and very action-packed, and had some of the most disturbing imagery that I've actually seen from the One Piece series, although it's got me even more amped for the rest of this Zou arc. I really cannot wait to see where they're going to go from here. It's definitely one of the more colorful looking arcs that I've ever seen. I can't wait to see how they're going to pull this off in the anime version of the series. So I loved this chapter right here. I thought it was a really great read, great dialogue, amazing artwork, really cool action scenes, the reveal of Jack, and some more information about how Sanji and their team arrived on the island and the troubles that they ran into. So you should definitely check out this week's chapter. It was really entertaining. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I really loved it. I'm just really loving this Zou arc right here. I cannot wait every week to see what the new chapter is going to deliver. So if you're a One Piece fan, whether you're watching the anime or reading the manga, check out this week's chapter. You might see something you like. But if you did read this week's chapter of One Piece, make sure to tell me what you thought about it in the comment section below. What did you think about the human design of Jack the Drought and his weird tusk swords? What did you think of the final panels of this week's chapter? And what do you want to see from the rest of the Zou arc? Make sure to tell me in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching this review. Make sure to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby!